A very warm welcome to all the students. Today in this lecture we are going to see how we can combine different Turing machines to form one Turing machine. Okay. So Turing machines may be designed and combined to complete larger tasks. Two Turing machines, say M1 and M2, they can be combined by changing the halting state of the first machine M1 as the initial state of the second machine M2 and including transitions of both machines. Okay, it simply means that if you have two Turing machines, what you can do, the output of the first Turing machine can be then given as input to the second Turing machine, and that's how the first and second Turing machine can be combined. Okay, so whatever input that is given to the first Turing machine, ultimately the output will be received as the final state of the second Turing machine. Okay, so this is how we can combine two Turing machines. Fine. Now just for an example, we have taken this problem. This problem is a quite big problem, and that's why I have not used OneNote, Microsoft OneNote, because it was getting hanged. It is too heavy problem. So instead I have solved the problem, and then I am going to explain you how this problem works. So we need to design a Turing machine to accept the language L equal to SS such that S belongs to A, V the whole star. Okay. Now looking at this language here, okay, one thing is very clear. If S, so basically S is a string that belongs to A, B star. That means S can be any combination of A's and B's. For example, if S is A, B, B, then the valid string will be ABB, ABB. Okay. So S should be repeated once again. So if ABB is S, then the valid string here will be ABB, ABB. Okay. So such string should be accepted. So we need to design such Turing machine. Now the Turing machine design, now the one which is designed here, okay, it has to accept strings of only even length. Why? Because when I say SS, okay, if S is even, then the end result even into even will be even. If S is odd, then odd into odd, again it will be even. Okay, if one of them is odd and the second one is even, so basically that case will not arise. Okay, so if S is even, then SS will be even, and if S is odd, then also SS will be even. Suppose S is 3, odd number 3, then 3 and 3 will be 6, which is even. Similarly, if S is 5, then 5 and 5 will be 10. So ultimately the end result here will be even number. So to design such Turing machine is a very big Herculean task. Okay, you have to design Turing machines to do smaller tasks. Now what are those smaller tasks? Okay, one, the length of the string has to be checked. Okay, so that we can determine whether the given string, input string, is odd or even. So you will have to design first Turing machine, a simple Turing machine that will check the length of the input string, and it will find out whether the string is odd or even. Okay. Now second Turing machine, so the output of this will be given as input to the second Turing machine. The second Turing machine, then what it will do, if the length is even, so from the first Turing machine, if the output tells you that the length of the string taken is even, then the middle of the string is identified. Why middle of the string? Because whenever any even length string is given, okay, how will you compare? How will you find out that the given string, the given big string is of type SS? Okay, you will be able to do it only when the pointer points somewhere in the middle, so that the string to the left and the string to the right, SS, both, it can then check whether both have the same elements or no. Okay, we will see this. Okay, so the first task here is the first Turing machine. What it does, it first finds out whether the given string is odd or even. Now output of this is given to the second Turing machine. Second Turing machine will do what? If the length is found to be even, then it will take the pointer, input pointer, to the middle of the string. And now this, whatever is the result of this, is given as input to this. So result of this means you will have your string on the tape, and the input pointer will be currently pointing on in the middle, and the string obviously will be even length string. Odd length strings will be rejected. So that will be given as input to the third Turing machine. Now what third Turing machine will do? Symbol in both halves. Now when I say both halves, your input pointer will be pointing in at the middle of the string, right? So towards the left there will be half part, towards the right there will be half part. So third Turing machine here will do what? Symbols in both the halves of the given string, they are compared, and if they are found same, then the third Turing machine ultimately will tell you whether the given string is accepted or rejected. Okay, so we have to break this problem into smaller Turing machines. Now this is the first Turing machine that we have designed to find whether the string is odd or even. Okay, the machine is simple, but what we will do is we will take up a problem and then trace this Turing machine, so we will understand what exactly this Turing machine does. Okay, suppose the input even length input string that is given to us is A B A B. Now this is valid string in the language SS. If S is AB, then the SS will be AB AB. So let's say this is a valid input string that is given to us. Initially we are in Q0 state, pointer is pointing to delta, right? So we are in Q0 state. So what I will do, as this tracing happens, I will also trace it with the diagram, so you will understand. As part of the first step, delta will be replaced with itself, pointer will move one place to the right, and you are going to Q1. So from Q0, delta will be replaced with itself, pointer moves one place to the right, we go to Q1 state. So now we are in Q1 state and the pointer is pointing to A. Now in Q1 state, if A is encountered, A will be replaced with capital A and pointer will move to the right. Okay, why we are replacing A with capital A is because we are marking it. We are marking that this particular A is already read. So if small a is encountered, you replace that small a with capital A, pointer moves to the right. So here there is a small a. So small a will be replaced with the capital A, pointer will move one place to the right, and from Q1 state we are now in Q2 state. So from Q1 we go to Q2 state. Agreed? Now in Q2 state, okay, we are the pointer is now pointing to B. So in Q2 state, when B is encountered, we are going to replace B with itself, pointer is going to move right. So what basically Q2 does, Q2 will ignore all the A's and B's that comes on the way, and it will just go on to the right, go on moving to the right till end of the string is reached. So you see this dot 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 here, it just tells you that in Q2 whatever symbols that are on the way, it is going to ignore them. Okay, so B it is going to ignore, it is going to point to the next element. Then this A it is going to ignore, it is going to point to the next element. Finally this B also it will ignore, and see this is the last thing. The pointer is going to point to the null string. Okay, blank symbol, I'm sorry, not null string, blank symbol. Okay, so it is going to ignore this B, A and B on the way, and this is the final output of Q2. Now when you are in Q2 and when delta is read, then what you do? When you are in Q2 and when delta is read, delta will be replaced with itself and pointer moves to the left, we go to Q3. So now when delta is encountered, what we will do? We replace delta with itself and pointer is going to move to the left. Delta was replaced with itself, pointer moved to the left, we went to Q3 state. So where are we? We are in Q3 state. Now in Q3 state, we know that we are pointing to the last element. Okay, if it is small b is replaced with capital B and pointer moves one place to the left, and you go to Q4. It is a small b here, so small b will be replaced with the capital B, pointer moves one place to the right, and from Q3 we go to Q4 state. So what have we done? We have marked one element, the leftmost element, and we have marked one rightmost element. So since this is a pair, so far whatever we have encountered is a even length. Okay, irrespective of whether the element is A or B. Okay, since for this particular symbol, whether it is A and B, we have found another pair element in the pair, that is B. Okay, since there are two elements which are converted to capital A at the end, capital A and capital B at the end, it means a pair has been found. So far whatever we have found is even length. Okay, so in Q4 state, okay, so in Q3 state, B is replaced with capital B, pointer moves to the right, we are in Q4 state. Okay, Q4 state. Now in Q4 state again, whether it is A or B, you ignore the small a's and small b's on the way and just go on moving to the left. So you see here there is A in Q4 state, there is A. So A you ignore, point to the B. B ignore, point to A. So this is that stage where you have ignored A, you have ignored B, you are in the same state, and finally in Q4 state A is the current symbol that is being read. Now in Q4 state, when A is read, then what you do? In Q4 state, when A is read, A is replaced with itself, pointer moves to the right, and we are going back to Q1. So here in Q4 state is A, if A is read, A is replaced with itself here, and pointer moves to the right here, and from Q4 we are coming back to Q1. So you see, we started from here, okay, and we have one full iteration done, and we have come back to Q1. So when you come to Q1, you realize that for one symbol here, for the leftmost symbol here, we have a matching rightmost symbol so far, and the process is now being repeated for the next symbol here. Okay, so far what we have found? We have found even string. Now in Q1 state, when B is encountered, then what you do? In Q1 state, if B is encountered, B will be replaced with capital B, pointer will move to the right. So in Q1 state, if B is encountered, B will be replaced with capital B, pointer moves to the right, and from Q1 you will go to Q2 state. So you see here, in Q1 state B was encountered, just see, in Q1 state B was encountered, B will be replaced with capital B. So you see, B is replaced with capital B, pointer has moved to the right, and from Q1 it has gone to Q2 state. From Q1 it has gone to Q2 state. Now in Q2 state, any number of small a, small b is encountered on the way rightward movement of the pointer, you are going to ignore those a's and b's, and you are just going to move to the right. So you see, any small a, small b is encountered on the way towards the right, you are going to ignore. So this dot 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 is for that, and finally after ignoring everything, it is going to reach capital B. So here it has reached capital B. So in Q2 state, you ignored A, and now you have reached capital B. In Q2, when capital B is encountered, what it means? It means we have reached a place where the element has been already marked. We have reached a place where the element has been already marked. Correct? So we have to now move one place to the right. Okay, we have to move one place to the left. Correct? So in Q2, when it is pointing to B, in Q2 state, when it is capital B as a current input symbol, B will be replaced with itself, pointer will move one place to the left. In Q2, B is encountered, B will be replaced with itself, pointer moves one place to the left, and I go to Q3. See, pointer came here, pointer moved to A here, and from Q2 we went to Q3. So from Q2 we have moved to Q3 on this transition. In Q3, okay, if you encounter small a or small b, replace them with capital A, capital B, and move to the right. Okay, so we are here. Okay, what we have done, we had marked this one and this one in the previous iteration. Now in current iteration, this one is marked, and we are trying to find out whether there is a matching symbol A or B. Okay, so in Q3, if small a is encountered, what we do? Q3 small a is encountered, small a will be replaced with capital A, move to the left, and you go to Q4. Small a will be replaced with capital A, move to the left, so you are pointing to B, and from Q3 you have moved to Q4. Now you see, this is actually the end of the second iteration. Okay, now you are in Q4, and when B is read, what happens? When in Q4, when capital B is read, B will be replaced with itself, pointer moves to the right, you are coming back to Q1. Yes, so in Q4 state, when B is read, B will be replaced with itself, and pointer moves to the right, so pointer is now pointing to A, and from Q4 you have come back to Q1. So you have come back to Q1 state, which means in the first iteration you found a match for this symbol, and in the second iteration you already found a match for this symbol. So far whatever is, since match have occurred, whatever string that we have obtained so far is a even length string. Okay, so now in Q1, when capital A is read, so far small a, small b is were read. So if there is small a, small b which is read in Q1, it means the third iteration is required. So there are more elements which are yet to be marked. Okay, the string is not over. But now in Q1 state, if capital A or capital B is encountered, it means that there is no small a, small b's which are remaining to be considered. That means the string is fully read, and so far the string that is fully read is even length. Okay, so in Q1 state, okay, if small b or small a is encountered, you will have to go to this iteration. But if capital A or capital B is encountered in Q1, it simply means that in the first and second iteration, every element has been found a match, Okay, so all elements which are there in the string so far, they have been paired with other elements, and the string has been even so far. And now when you are in Q1, if capital A or capital B is encountered as the current input symbol, it means that there is no other symbol remaining to be read. So the string is complete and it is even. Now this Turing machine that we have designed is actually going to find out whether the string is even or not. So at this moment, if A is found or capital B is found, what it means? It means so far the string is being even and there is no more element left to be read in the string, so it has to go to the halting state. So in Q1 state, okay, in Q1 state, if capital A or capital B is read, it will be replaced with itself. Pointer moves one place to the left. You see, pointer moves one place to the left and it goes to the halting state. Okay, now students, please observe why pointer moves one place to the left. Pointer moves one place to the left so that I could have moved the pointer to the right also here. I could have written right also here, but I am writing left. Why? Because see, two things have happened here. First, it has found out that the length of the string is even. Okay, and second, you see the pointer, it is pointing exactly at the middle of the input string. Input string is AB, AB, so B can be called as a middle element. Okay, now, so although your pointer is pointing to the middle element, how Turing machine will find out, okay, which is the first half and which is the second half? How it will distinguish which is the first half of the or the leftmost substring and which is the rightmost substring of this? Okay, it cannot distinguish it right now because all the elements here are capital A's and B's. So we will now give this input, okay, this output of this machine, okay, will be given as input to the second Turing machine, and that second Turing machine is what it will do. It is going to, this is a small Turing machine. So Turing machine to change the first half of the input string to small letters. Okay, what this Turing machine does? This Turing machine, the second Turing machine, it changes the first half of the input string to small letters. Okay, now please observe the same output that we have received, that same output is given as input to my Turing machine here. This is the input. The difference is the halting state which I said here, this halting state is now no longer halting state. This was a halting state, this was a halting state of the previous diagram. So what is the meaning of combining Turing machine? This Turing machine is combined with the next Turing machine by connecting the halting state to that Turing machine, to the next Turing machine, so that this no longer remains the halting state. This then becomes the initial state of the second machine. Okay, so that's why in the second Turing machine, this HA will be removed, and in place of HA we will call this as Q5, because up to Q4 the states are there. So this will be called as Q5. So you see the same input, so far whatever we have done computation on the tape, that same input is given to the second Turing machine, to this Turing machine here. This is the input, and that halting state which we had in the previous Turing machine, now that halting state is no longer halting state, it is being given a new name, that is Q5, which is now a start state of the next machine. Okay, so only this is a change. If you see this, this is the output of the previous Turing machine where we stopped. Okay, only the HA has been now named as Q5. Fine. So this is how the machines are connected. Now what this Turing machine is doing, it is simply converting the first half. Okay, now the pointer is pointing here at the end of the previous calculation. But how Turing machine will distinguish which is the first half, which is the second half? So what this Turing machine is doing, it is simply changing the first half of the input string to all small letters. Okay, let's see. In Q5, so we are in Q5. If now currently B, it is pointing to capital B. Now, if capital A is encountered in Q5, capital A will be replaced with the small a and pointer is going to move to the left. If capital B is encountered, capital B will be replaced with the small b and pointer is going to move to the left. So what it does is, the first half from this pointer, whatever is there to the left till this delta, all this will be replaced with the small alphabet. So now let's start. We are in Q5 and capital B is encountered. So what we do, capital B will be replaced with small b, pointer moves to the left, you are in Q5 only. So this capital B, we have changed it to small b, pointer moves one place to the left, we are in Q5 state only. Okay, now in Q5 state again, when capital A is encountered, capital A will be replaced with small a and pointer still moves to the left further and you are in the same state. So this A which is encountered in Q5, that also we are going to convert it to the small a and pointer still goes to the left. Fine here. So all the first half of the string is converted to the small alphabets. Now I think Turing machine can distinguish. Now it will know that small a and small b means the first half of the string, capital A and capital B means the second half of the string. Correct? So after replacing this a with small a, pointer moves to the left. Finally in Q5 when delta is encountered, what we do? In Q5 when delta is encountered, we replace delta with itself and the pointer moves to the right. Okay, so in Q5 when delta is encountered, delta replaces with itself, pointer moves one place to the right. So end of the Turing machine 2, this is the configuration of the tape, where the first two elements are now changed to small case alphabets and the pointer is now pointing to A, the first symbol. We are going to the halting state. Now again, the halting state of this Turing machine will be now connected to the third Turing machine, which is going to now compare both the strings. Okay, so far Turing machine has done what? The first Turing machine, okay, it checked whether the string was even length, and yes, it was even length. And second thing what it did was, the pointer, the input pointer was made to point to the middle of the string. Then the second Turing machine took the same, the output of the first was given as input to the second Turing machine. What this second Turing machine did, it converted the first half, okay, into small case, and it stopped where? It stopped when the pointer was pointing to the first element, the converted element of the input string. So this is the configuration that is now being given, will be given to the third Turing machine, a final Turing machine. And our final Turing machine is now going to compare A with A, B with B, just to see whether the first half and second half is same. So let's continue. So now see, Q5 was an extra state generated here. So now in the third Turing machine, this halting state will be input state of the third Turing machine. So I will rename this HA as Q6. So third Turing machine will start from Q6 onwards. Okay, so this is that Q6. Okay, and as I trace, you will be easily able to understand what this particular Turing machine does. Okay, so we start from Q6. Now third Turing machine, what it does? First of all, this is given as input to the third Turing machine as it is. Only HA has been replaced with Q6 because now halting state of the second Turing machine is the start state of the third Turing machine. Start state we have named as Q6. So let's start. Now let's see how it will compare now that first half and second half is same. Now in Q6 when small a is encountered, what we do? In Q6 when small a is encountered, we are going to erase that small a and pointer moves to the right. In Q6 when small a is encountered, we erase small a, C, and the pointer moves to the right and we go to Q7 state. So from Q6 when a is encountered, we erase a, replace it with delta, pointer moves to the right, we go to Q7 state. Okay, now one thing please note, you see in this last Turing machine, you see the every element that is encountered here, small a, small b, we are erasing it because we at the end of this computation, we are not we don't want the original string to remain on the Turing machine. We are not interested in the original string. We are just interested to know whether that string, whatever it was, is finally accepted or rejected. So in the third Turing machine, it is up to you. Here we are erasing it. You may keep it also. Okay, the machine could be slightly different also. This is better. Okay, so in Q6 state when A is encountered, what we have done? We have replaced A with delta, pointer moves to the right. So from Q6 we have moved to Q7 state. Now in Q7 state, so we have what we have done, see there is a small a. Now we will try to match this small a with this a. Let's see now how this happens. Now, in Q7 state when B is encountered, what we do? You see in Q7 there is a self loop. If there is any small a, small b encountered or even capital X that is encountered, you are going to ignore them and you are going to move to the right. You will understand what is X. Okay, after some time you will understand why X is used. Okay, so now in Q6 A is encountered, A will be replaced with itself, pointer moves to the right, we go to we remain in Q7 state. So if A is encountered, A is replaced with itself, pointer moves to the right, we remain in Q7 state. So this is for A. Now in Q7, if B is encountered, B is also unchanged and we move to the right. So right now Q7, B is encountered, so B replaces itself, pointer moves to the right. Now this dot dot means no matter how many small a's, small b's and capital X's are on the way, it is going to ignore all of them, and finally the pointer will reach here by ignoring all that which is on the way. There is only one B that you can ignore here. Okay, so and you are still in Q7 state, right? In Q7 state, when capital A is encountered, what we do? In Q7, when capital A is encountered, you replace capital A with X, pointer moves to the left. Okay, in Q7, when capital A is encountered, I replace capital A with X and pointer moves one place to the left, I go to Q8. Now why this A was replaced with left? See, the input string on the tape was small a and capital A. So we replace small a with delta so that we know that this A we have already considered. We now replace capital A with X so that just to identify that this A is already marked X. Okay, you cannot replace this A with delta, because if I replace this A with delta, the moment pointer reaches here, it will assume that it has reached the end of the string and it will ignore whatever comes next. So I cannot replace A with delta. So the best choice is just to know that A is marked, let A be replaced with some other variable name, say X. So now if pointer reaches here and reads capital X or capital Y, it will understand that capital A was there, which is already marked, or capital B was there, which is already marked. Very simple. Now, so in Q7, if A is encountered, A has been replaced with X and we have gone to Q8 here, and we have gone to Q8. Now in Q8, if there is small b, small a or capital X, you just ignore them and just go on moving to the left. Okay, so in Q8, small b, ignore it, move to the left. So whatever elements which are on the way, if it is a small b, small a or capital X, all of them you ignore, just go on till you reach delta. So this dot 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 means these are the iterations. So you ignore b, pointer moves to the right, so you come here. Now in Q8 state, when delta is encountered, what happens? In Q8 state, when delta is encountered, delta you replace with itself, pointer moves to the right, you are coming back to Q6. So in Q8, when delta is encountered, delta is replaced with itself, pointer moves to the right. Okay, and you go to which state? You go to Q6 back. So you come here. Okay, see, delta is replaced with itself, pointer moves to the right. So pointer should now be pointing to B. Yes, here, and from Q8 you have come to Q6 state. So this is that configuration. From Q8 you have come to Q6 state. So this ends one iteration. So in the first iteration, what we have done, this A, small a, has been successfully compared and equated with this capital A, which was a representative of small a only, and just to know that that particular capital A is already marked, we have replaced that with X. So at the end of the calculation, we will be writing transitions where we will say that finally if this is X, that means this is already compared and delta is already erased. So that means this one and this one has been matched. Now in the second iteration, we are trying to now match this one and this one. Okay. Now in Q6 state, if B is encountered, if A is encountered, this iteration. In Q6 state, if B is encountered, we replace B with delta and pointer moves to the right. Now in Q6, when B is encountered, we replace B with delta and pointer moves one place to the right. So pointer is now pointing to X. We are in Q9 state. So from Q6 we go to Q9 state. Now again similarly in Q9 state, small a, small b's and capital X's that are encountered on the way, you just ignore them and pointer just goes on moving to the right. So you see dot 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 means everything on the way is being ignored. So there is no small a, small b, but there is one X. So we ignore this X, pointer moves to the right. So this actually is that calculation. The pointer is here. We are in Q9 state. Now in Q9 state, if B is encountered, what it means? That means there was a small b there. Okay, now that b, you are also saying that b is marked, no? So b is replaced with X, move to the left. So in Q9 state, if B is encountered, That means for this particular symbol I am trying to now match. So for this B that is cancelled, I am trying to match another B. So if B is encountered, you know that there is a match happening. So I just want to say that this is also marked. So in Q-night state, if B is encountered, what we do? We replace B with X and pointer moves one place to the left. Pointer moves here. So far you see, this is delta, this is X. That means this A has been compared and matched with this A. This B has been compared and matched with this B. And right now pointer is here. Now in Q10 state, if X is encountered, what we do? In Q10 state, if X is encountered, A is encountered or B is encountered, you ignore them, just go on moving to the right. So in Q10 state, X will be ignored, move to the right. So it comes here. Correct? Dot means all that is on the way is ignored. Right now there is only one element to be ignored, so this is direct step. So X is ignored, pointer moves here, so this is the next configuration from Q10. And you are still in Q10. It's a self loop here. Okay? Now, again in Q10, if delta is encountered, then what you do? In Q10, if delta is encountered, delta replaces with itself, pointer moves to the right, go to Q6. So this is the end of the iteration. So in Q10 state, if delta is encountered, delta replaces with itself and pointer moves one place to the right. Okay, delta replaces with itself, pointer moves one place to the right. So pointer moves from here to here, that is here. And from Q10 you come back to Q6, which is a start state. Okay, so in the second iteration, what we have done? We have matched this delta with this X. Fine. Now in Q6 state, if small a is encountered, you go to this loop, trying to match small a with capital A somewhere. If small b is encountered, you go to this loop, trying to match small b with some capital B somewhere. Now in Q6, if X is encountered, what it means? It means so far in Q6, if X is encountered, what it means? So far, whatever small a's and small b's that were there in the first half of the string, all of them have been compared and matched with the second half of the string. Okay, and in Q6 when you get X, it simply means that there is no more small a, there is no more element that is remaining to be matched with in the first half with the second half. And since we have got X here, it simply means there are no more symbols remaining to be matched. So in Q6 when X is encountered, what it means? In Q6 when X is encountered, X replaced with itself, we can keep the pointer stationary. X replaced with itself, we can keep the pointer stationary. I am not shown the pointer here, actually pointer will be pointing to X only, stationary, and we go to the halting state. So this is that final halting state. So this final halting state, it tells you that initially that string which was given to us, what was the string that was given to us initially? It was AB. First, the first Turing machine checked that AB is even. Okay, and it made sure that the pointer was pointing somewhere in the middle of the string. Then the second Turing machine did what? In that output of the previous Turing machine was this. What it did, second Turing machine, it converted the first half to small cases and made sure that the pointer is pointing to the first element of the first half of the string. This was then given as input to the third Turing machine. Third Turing machine, through these two loops, it ensured that every small a was matched to capital A, every small b was matched to capital B. Okay, and finally after matching, when X is encountered in Q6 state, okay, that means there is no small alphabets remaining to be compared. It simply means that the given string, the original string which was given, okay, is SS, correct, and that's why it goes to the halting state. So now so we have seen all this. Now before I show you the final Turing machine, one thing, see, I did not solve this problem like how I had done it for other problems. I used to write on OneNote, Microsoft OneNote. What happened was, because of the length of this problem, there was a lot of memory issues, and because of which my OneNote was getting closed down again and again, and I was not able to, and there was a lot of delay. I was not able to record videos. So what I thought is, I converted this into PDF, I solved it, and I explained it. So what you can do is, along with this video, I have also attached file called as myfile.pdf, which is a PDF file. You go through that PDF file, also try to solve manually, looking at what I have solved, how I have solved. You solve it yourself, and then you will be able to understand what exactly this problem does if you have not understood what I have taught. So this is the final Turing machine, okay, which is combination of all three Turing machines. Blue color one, this is Turing machine 1. Okay, now there is one more extra, if you can see, there is one extra transition, okay, that goes to halting state. Basically there is a common halting state which we have made. Okay, now this transition is to accept the empty strings. Okay, this transition is to accept the empty strings. Then the first Turing machine's output is given as input to the second Turing machine as Q5. We have already spoken about it. Then from Q5, okay, it converts the first half to small cases, and finally when it reaches the beginning of the string, the Turing machine go to the halting state. Now that halting state of the second Turing machine is made as the start state of the third Turing machine. Also you see this particular see, Q5 ultimately does not go to final state. Q5 is just an intermediate Turing machine. You may be confused with this red color that I have used here. Okay, this transition is not part of second Turing machine. This transition basically is part of the third Turing machine. Okay, so this basically is the third Turing machine. So this is how I have connected all three Turing machines. This is how the Turing machines that combines the big Turing machines, which is actually combination of smaller Turing machines. This is how they are designed. Okay, whenever such huge computation is required, what you need to do is, as I have told you, you need to break the problem into parts and first design individual Turing machines to solve those small parts, and then combine all the Turing machine together to form a bigger Turing machine. Having a glance at this huge Turing machine, you will be confused. But now that I have taught you by splitting it into parts, now it will be easy. Okay, so this PDF file I am also sharing with this video on the Google Classroom, so that you can also go through my PDF, and slowly you can go through the steps that I have gone through. You can just check how I have solved, and accordingly then you can try to understand if you have not understood from my video. Okay, so that is it for today's lecture. Thank you.